Dragon
Doing an
Joker.
intro and my mic wasn't even on, but I was saying this is a great stream for Henry Laz to take part in. Dragon Joker.
Check out the video I sent you on text. It relates to Elden Ring.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
This is on topic so far. I'm doing a game in chat. I drank too much at the mics last night, so I'm just gonna like game and like hang and not like battle atheists today.
You know? Go to Jokes or Dallas since I got picked. I'm not allowed at the Brit.
Yeah, you should go to Jocks or Dailies. I saw that I saw that bouncer last night that kicked you out.
Why'd you see him?
Well, he always hangs around after. I didn't go to Brit. I went to Jokes or Dailies, and then I went to West Side, and then I went to King's Head afterwards to get a beer, and he was like at King's Head, and he was kind of being a douche because he kicked us out of King's Head, and he wasn't even working there.
What do you mean? How does that work?
Well, not like kicked us out in like a serious way, but like they were closing up, and he comes to our table. He's like, "All right, boys, they're closing up. You guys gotta get out of here." I was kind of waiting for Wayne to tell me that, the actual bouncer of the bar, but okay. Fair enough. So I look over at Wayne. I'm like, "Is this an order, Wayne?" And Wayne's like, you should probably get out of here." We're like, "All right, whatever."
Asshole, dude.
I know. I don't really like that dude. He's got a chip on his shoulder.
Whatever. Check out the video I texted you. It works.
The donkey shout out. Yeah, I'm down. The donkey tree.
Yeah. Did you find it too easy?
No fucking way. It's probably the hardest game I've ever played. What the fuck is going on?
Well, he found it very easy.
Yeah. Well, maybe one day I'll have the gaming chops of a video game donkey. All right, I'm looking up. Can you see my screen and stuff?
Yeah, I texted it to you though.
Yeah, I got it. It's on my computer. Yeah, I pulled it up on my computer.
Oh, look at that. This is how many times people are dying to the first boss. After years of telling me to get good, the fan base has turned on From Software, and now they're telling Miyazaki to get good at making video games. I know everybody's been waiting on my video to learn what their opinion is on the whole matter, and I'm just gonna give it to you straight up.
Wait, I can't hear the video.
Funniness and
Can't hear it. Oh,
also, I can only whenever I talk, I can hear myself. I hear an echo.
That is. Wait, talk again.
Huh.
I don't. Oh, I know why. Because are you watching the stream on a different tab?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, let me do this. All right, sorry. Let me do this. Does that work?
Yeah, that worked.
Oh, okay. Oh, and I see why it's echoing, because I was streaming my Discord, which you're in, so it would echo your voice. Vrindavan, I don't play CS2. I have played CS2, but
Counter-Strike, that is.
Yeah.
So you didn't think the DLC was too easy?
No, it was like literally probably the hardest video game that's ever been made.
Well, he thinks that you're a bitch if you thought that, so keep watching.
I can't wait to see how he fleshes that out.
People are babies and children, and they cry.
He is right about that, though. People are babies about Elden Ring.
Children, and they cry.
Yeah, when it comes to Elden Ring, like, you're so hard. Get good, bro.
And they can't win. And they can't win because they're not good enough at the game. This DLC was made specifically for me and the 2 other players that are good enough at video games to handle it. All of you casuals and normies with jobs, responsibilities, other things in your life that isn't playing Elden Ring, this DLC is not for you. You are an inferior class of...
That's so true, by the way. I never would have beaten it if I had any sort of, like, responsibilities at the time.
Yeah, I have a job interview at 3:30 today at an Italian restaurant.
Oh, nice. That'll be fun. Bartender or waiter?
Bartender.
Nice, dude. Nice. That'll be really nice.
Phone's on right now. Check it out.
That'd be great if you get that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
All right, Let's keep putting this.
gamer, and this DLC is the proof. So go play Fortnite instead because you're 7. For me, though, I am living it up in the Shadow Realm. This is like the best, most fun game in the world for me. I haven't seen graphics this brown since Xbox 360. The swamp
It's so
level is
brown.
like, there's a sewer level. There's a stinky toilet level. Every
The
character
Xbox 360 is
pain and
brown.
crying
This
and
game
wants
is
to
brown.
hide. It's just
That's
such
so
an
true.
enjoyable world to experience. Gotta be careful here. This game sucks. I hate this. I think a lot of people were going into this DLC.
I love how every like 3 seconds he cuts back to this fight with the Black Jail Knight.
And he's dying.
Yeah, he like hasn't beat this guy. And it's supposed to be like an easy like mini.
Have you
boss.
watched Kai Cenat playing Elden Ring?
Yeah, dude. Some of those clips are really funny. He sucks.
He is
He
so bad.
sucks.
Like he was like the first villain. He died like 500 times.
Brendan Brown says I should try out CS2. I don't know. I've tried it, man. It's just like not that. It's like the worst parts of like Call of Duty and League of Legends combined. I don't know. There's something really not fun about it to me. I don't know.
I like betting on like European Counter-Strike games from Prize Picks. You can do that, which is fun.
Yeah,
and
betting
I
on
always
them
like
is fun.
this bet based on their nationality. I'm like, yeah, the Serbian guy is definitely going to get 14 headshots. And sometimes you're right.
14 headshots.
Well, in like a
They're
2 out of 3
level
game.
300.
Yeah,
If your
yeah.
team's winning. And well, it depends, you know.
Yeah.
Look.
Faux show, bro. Faux show.
The character that they've slain 24 different gods on, and thinking that they would not get one shot killed by a bat. But that was dumb on you to think that. I'm definitely one of those people who will correct you when you tell
This boss was impossible. This was so fucking hard, Rolana.
me that you
Did you beat this? Like the,
Yeah.
the DLC?
Yeah, I beat it.
Congrats.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
you used summons or crafted items or overpowered
The thing
weapons.
is, you can get more busted yourself than the bosses are if you like do all the stuff. But a lot of people that were like leaving it bad reviews didn't even know how to like get stronger. They thought you just like go in at the base game strength.
What
Oh
I've
yeah,
heard Radon is not that hard. It's like Melania that's hard.
Melania's hard. Radon in the base game isn't hard. Isn't hard, but the
No, because you activate the summons.
right, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
That's
use
what-
the summons. Yeah.
That's what the guy from the director of the movie said.
I forgot
That's
they're
a
making a movie.
good-
That'd be cool. I can't wait for that to come out.
I feel like a TV series would work better, but
Probably, yeah. Although I don't really know.
I think it would just be the problem is that it'd be too much like Game of Thrones.
I don't know because it's like the story is so like
Actually, I don't
weird
think
and
it would.
trippy. Yeah, there's not really like characters.
think it's-
Everyone's either like
I
a
don't know.
demigod or like.
I'm pretty sure George though did give some writing to Elden Ring, right? Didn't he? Work
Yeah,
with
he
them?
did. Yeah, he worked with them for sure, which is pretty.
Why
cool.
is he doing all these side projects instead of just like writing the last book of his series?
I think he's a
I
lazy
feel like it
fat
would
fuck
probably
that wants to
be the
fuck his
most-
sister.
I don't know. I feel like it would probably be the most profitable fantasy novel of all time. The only book I don't think it would surpass. I don't know. It probably wouldn't surpass
Harry
like Lord
Potter.
of the Rings and Harry Potter. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Chronicles of Narnia. I don't know.
Yeah, that C.S. Lewis. That probably has a lot of. I mean, there are probably tons of books that have a ton of sales, but
Dune.
I,
for
like, I
sure.
mean, opening wise,
But
it would do very
fantasy,
well.
yeah. Yeah, that
Yeah,
one's
that-
kind of unique that it's like
It's
like-
feel silly that I bought this. I'm never gonna get around to reading it.
what do you feel so that you bought?
Mistborn.
Oh, you should read it, man. Next time you have like a plane trip or something, it's fun. It's like
Dude, I already have so many books. That's my problem.
yeah, I played
And
the
like all of them, I'm much more interested in reading than this one, which I feel like I shouldn't have bought it.
Yeah, that's probably fair, but maybe at some point you'll get to it. Brendan Vaughn, I do play League, unfortunately. Which like the
Bro.
modern equivalent of getting a lobotomy. But
there's a
yeah.
better simile we can come up with. Come on, let's think. I
What,
feel like
playing
playing
League?
League is the modern simile of cutting your dick off.
yeah,
The
like
modern simile of being a
cutting-
virgin.
cutting your dick off to spite your free time.
Dude,
Uh,
last time I was at the store, dude, I don't know if you weren't there, but Jack Shaw, he had this incredible joke about Lenny. I was talking about like the food he brought into the house when we lived together, and he was like, "Yeah, I just imagine Lenny to be the type that would just like eat rats." Like he would come. The simile he like did an act out where he's like, yeah, he'd come to the door with like a scroll in his mouth, just like, ah, is this good? Ah, he'd be like, drop it.
That's so funny. The Lenny was telling me he was his doctor made him like fast for 2 days, like he couldn't eat or even drink. Maybe he could drink water, but he's like not really supposed to eat or drink anything for 2 days,
Dude,
which for Lenny,
yeah,
And
he probably lost 20 pounds.
then he called the morning that he was supposed to have the like procedure that they were gonna do, like some kind of surgery. And they're like, yeah, sorry, we scheduled you for the wrong procedure. So we're gonna do it.
That's classic Lenny life, dude.
Yeah, that's Lenny life
That's
in a
his life.
nutshell.
Lenny's life is just like, by the way, your healthcare coverage, it's $6 million, and it's just like, fair enough,
Okay.
fair enough.
That was the other thing. His roommate Coke, like
I know
moved in.
Coke. I set them up.
Well, I know, but for the whatever for Brindavon.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, sometimes you forget. Sometimes I forget. But so Coke like I
By the,
talked.
by
I
the
was
way,
like, "What's it like?"
I think
bro?
it's hysterical that
Yeah.
Matthew Kerrigan, aka Coke, and Jonathan Burton, aka Lenny McKenzie, are living together. These
That
two
is
people with aliases.
That's true
But
too.
go on,
like,
yeah.
But I was like, "Hey Coke, like, what's it like living with Lenny? Like, that's so funny that you moved in with him." He's like, "Yeah, I've really only been there one day though, so I don't really know." And I was like,
Yeah,
do you
that's what Lenny was
mean?"
telling me. Lenny was
That's
telling
what
me that
you
he's
mean.
never there, and he's living at like. Have you met his girl, like fiance? Apparently, they're
Yeah,
engaged.
yeah, they're gonna get married, and then
Dude, that's a fucked relationship.
why do you say that?
Because that girl, I don't get super scared. Maybe I do, but that girl terrifies me.
Yeah,
Like,
that's probably
I
fair. What's
remember
her
seeing
name?
her do stand up at Chaos, and she was like joking about how like she wants to get pregnant to feel any sort of like worth in her life, and how she like literally starts fires, which I remember Coke told me months earlier that she's a pyromaniac and like
She
has a problem. It's like a
starts.
real problem.
That's
It's a
really
genuine
bad.
thing, and it's just like for some reason Chaos just lets it happen.
You know,
Um,
you know what's
but
so funny
no,
to me?
it's terrifying. It's like genuinely like I saw this woman was performing. I'm like, this is not funny. This is
But you know what's
scary.
so funny? Have you ever heard of the Rothschilds?
Yes.
Apparently, she is one. I don't know if that's true or not, but
Um, that's I don't I don't know. Apparently, she comes from money because Lenny would always tell me that she has like a place on the beach or whatever.
well, yeah, that's like that's just what Coke was talking about. He's whatever.
Yeah, that's why
I'm
he's
not.
never
He
at Lenny's
mentioned
place.
Rothschild. Yeah, I wouldn't be if I had a Rothschild like
Yeah, which
fiance.
in hindsight, I feel like he probably shouldn't be paying as much as he's paying for that place.
I mean,
Now
he's
that I
kind of
know he's
being
only
nice to
living
Lenny
there.
by even like,
Yeah,
you know.
Lenny's probably chilling. I gave him my couch. I left my couch there.
How
So Lenny
kind.
has a couch.
How
He has a couch.
gracious.
He has Black Santa. I owed him $15, so I was like, "Hey, you want to just keep the toaster, and I don't owe you any money." And he was like, "Sounds fair enough." That was another thing that Shaw was saying, that like him and his roommate or whatever, his buddy, constantly reference the fact that after every one of Lenny's jokes that bombs, he just goes, "Fair enough."
Fair enough. I miss Johnny
Which
Parmesan,
is
dude.
such a
Apparently he
good
missed.
bit.
Yeah, fair enough is awesome. Johnny Parmesan goes,
Fair enough.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, let's watch this video.
Weapons. You did not beat Elden Ring. You used exploits to cheat the game, and now you're being
Who's
punished
judging your
for
thing
it
tomorrow?
because you're not a good person.
It's me, Wallace, and Austin Nelson.
So let's see. Do we think Austin's gonna be good to me?
Yeah, I think it'll be fair.
Will I get to judge at some point? Because like it seems like you're just picking
Yeah.
people.
Well, I'm really trying to pick winners, but like, and by winners,
Yeah, but
I mean people
Handren's
who
a
have literally
douchebag.
won. Well, yeah, that's why I didn't pick Handren. I'm trying to pick people that either
I'm
won.
like Handren's
Yeah,
either like he's just like the fakest nice person I know. I feel like.
yeah, I didn't find him to be particularly like, I don't know, genuine or anything.
I
But
like him. I
yeah,
just
yeah,
wish he was nicer to me, genuinely.
yeah,
Like I
that's
wish he
fair.
would follow me on Instagram. You know,
Oh
he
yeah,
knows
yeah,
who I am, and he's
yeah,
like okay with me. He's just kind of a
yeah,
dick.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. So maybe, you know, a year into it, he's still working at the store. He gives me a spot, and I say everything's great, and I love him.
So as long as he does something for you, then you will like him.
That's
But
how it works. That's how it
he
works.
doesn't have to. But you don't have to do anything for him to like you.
Well, I can't do anything for him.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. The standard is wrong. Just like switch the standard.
Let's see. What could I do for him?
No, you don't do anything. Just like him, regardless. Even though he hates you, would be the thing you could do for him.
I mean, most people hate me, so I got to work on that as well.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't. Think
You got to
that's
go. Get out of the Brit. Dude, like, I literally can't go back to the Brit, I don't think. Like,
No, you can. I'm
that's-
sure you can, dude.
I don't.
Really?
This is the
You don't
thing.
think so?
My thing is that, like I said, it's like Chris and Connor. That's one thing. They're
Yeah.
completely fine.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just this bouncer.
Yeah, he sucks.
And I have a feeling if he sees and recognizes me, it's nixed immediately.
Yeah, man, I think you're right. Well, I don't know, dude. He probably was so drunk he wouldn't remember. Every time I see that guy, he's like drunk as hell. Like thinks he runs the place. So he might not even remember you, honestly.
That bar, I'm gonna be honest, that bar sucks. Like,
Yeah, it
that's
really
a
does.
terrible bar.
It smells like shit. Everyone's drunk.
There's
that works
literally an
there.
actual British bar that's literally a good bar and restaurant, like 3 blocks away. Like I remember, I've like multiple times I've gone to the Brit and then been like, yeah, let me get actual food. So I go to the actual British restaurant, you know.
And is it
Like,
good? I've never tried the
that
food. Is it actually good British
Dude,
food?
It's really good, dude. You've never tried the food there.
No, never.
I think after 10 or whatever time you're going, you can't order food.
Yeah,
but,
no, you can't.
Get the Guinness pie and mash. It's really fucking good. Sticky toffee pudding's killer. Yeah, it's like traditional British food, but they actually season it, and it's good.
Okay, cool. That's awesome.
Highly recommend.
It's because they actually have Mexican guys making the British food, so it's actually good.
That's a good call. If British had written more Mexican.
If Mexican guys make the British food, then it's actually good.
I remember that was one of the jokes I got up when I was in Britain trying to do stand up. I never got up because it was like the Fringe, and you had to sign up months in advance for most things. But the joke I was gonna open with any Mexicans here, and if there were some, I'd say, like react. But if there were none, which I expected because it was England, I'd just be like, oh, thank God.
Any Mexicans here?
Dude, they're stand-up.
I
You would
wonder if
like
there's
their clubs.
I wonder if
Their
there's like a
clubs.
single Mexican in England.
I don't know. There's like 3 or 4 maybe, but you
Yeah.
would like their clubs. I feel like a lot
Yeah.
of the humor there. It's like the
Like,
thing with their
up my
humor
alley.
is
I
it's
love
super
British humor.
punchy, and they're trying to be. It's super punchy, often very dry, and often very controversial and sarcastic. You know. Yeah.
I'm
All
a
right, we
big-
can watch
I'm
the
a-
video.
I'm a big fan of British humor. Let's watch this shit.
I think
Personally,
Car-
I beat Elden Ring with mouse and keyboard, only using a level 1 whip. I only use heavy rolls. I don't believe in using the
only
light or
use-
medium roll exploit. I don't use spells
The
or blessing
exploit.
exploits. I don't abuse co-op or NPC summons. When Judgment Day comes, all of you abusers are going to be dragged down into the place where you belong as I ascend into the sky to join the Golden Order. Some people are saying this DLC is like Paper Mario Sticker Star because XP no longer matters.
Paper Mario sticker
Listen,
star.
if you are not down to
the
explore
game,
a
that's
cave
what it
for
is.
3 hours to unlock a helmet you will never equip, I just don't think you get this game. You're probably too dumb. This is not a generic power fantasy open world game. If you want that, go play Spider-Man. Go
so
play
funny.
Ghost of
Spider-Man.
Tsushima and remember to select the easiest difficulty mode like I know you like to do. Elden Ring is an artistic
I will
work
say
of
that
art where
Spider-Man
the more you
game
explore the
definitely
world,
like
the more you find
encapsulates the
out how weak
exaggerated
your
swagger of a
character
black
actually is.
teen.
With
Oh, for
From
sure.
Software, we love to talk about builds.
Do you remember that
variety.
review?
There are literally hundreds of bad weapons
show's
for
wild.
dumb players to pick and lose the game with. Me and my buddies know about the only good weapon in the game, but we're never going to tell you what it is. The sad thing is, this is probably the easiest Elden Ring yet. Miyazaki is just handing out these
This
statue
is
tree
the
fragments
easy-
like candy, which
It
are
is.
essentially easy mode tokens. I'd say once you get around 4 of these, you're pretty much invincible. Look
Yeah,
at this
right.
footage of how easy it was for me to beat this boss that people are saying is impossible.
The black jailback.
Get up so I can bonk you.
That weapon is busted.
Now get up so I can kill you.
You get 'em-
Now get out of here so you can
Is that a finger?
Yeah,
try it again so I can hit you again with that.
that's
Is he just
hilarious.
flicking him?
Too
Yeah, he's
easy.
literally just flicking him to death. That finger was busted. That's the way that's why people were like complaining too much genuinely, because there were weapons and those like scattered tree fragments that if you actually collect those and you actually get the good weapons, it's just like a normal. It's like a normal, Souls game. But if you didn't do that stuff, then it was literally
You have
impossible.
Fortnite?
No, I don't. I don't think. Unless I
Why don't you have, that would be a great game we could play on stream together.
I hate Fortnite. No, I don't have it.
Yeah, but it's funny.
What's funny about it?
The fact that my go-to skin is number 32 on the Buffalo Bills. And it's been like that for like 6 years at this point. That's funny, don't you think?
That is funny. I saw
That I'm running around.
You don't use the P.
I'm
Diddy
running
skin?
around Fortnite dressed as O.J. Simpson.
You don't use the P. Diddy skin?
I don't think that exists, but I can dress as O.J. Simpson, so I like that better.
The O.J. Simpson skin sounds fun.
No, there's NFL skins, so I do Buffalo Bills
Oh,
32.
Oh, nice.
And then you equip, as a pickaxe, you equip like a giant knife.
Yeah, yep. And then you make everyone else
Yeah,
play.
whatever game you're playing, I'm looking at you playing is kind of gay.
No, it's so fun, dude. You're out of the loop. I don't know why I did that. Nice. I'm getting licked,
Yeah,
bro.
but it doesn't make sense.
What doesn't make sense?
I don't watch it and get into it, It's not like Fortnite,
That's because you're not cerebral like me. Oh, nice, dude. Getting some customers for the show tomorrow.
Is this really the game you're playing?
I don't know. This is my favorite game, but I might
Good.
play something else. I might play some Night Rain, but it's just that it sometimes feels so glitchy on stream. But should I try it?
I don't know what Night Rain is.
Oh, it's a new Elden Ring game.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll do it.
I can commentate.
Yeah, let me know how easy you think it is. This shit's too easy.
The Million-Year Door. Is it like the plot of Elden Ring? Basically, let me explain the stream. The plot of Elden Ring is like once you open the Million-Year Door, all the monsters come out. And basically you have to say no monsters and then fight. And once you beat the monster,
And the
they
skeletons
say,
came
okay,
to life.
I give you. And the monsters came to life.
And the bones
Why
are
does
their
my fa-
money.
Oh, my face came on stream. I want my face cam on screen.
Go, I can do that. Give me a sec.
So I do have a job interview
Hey, what the heck?
later. I am gonna have to leave for.
Let's go pretty soon. Why? What are you doing, Char?
From software, more like butt software.
Oh, good shit, dog. Wait, your cam is on.
No, but I
No.
want it on the stream.
I know, I'm seeing it, but it's not coming
Oh,
up
it
on the
is?
stream. Wait, it's not coming up on the stream, but for some reason your little face is in the bottom of my...
Whatever. We'll deal with it.
That's so weird. Don't even want that. Hey.
Whatever. The monsters came to life.
Monsters came to life.
They start with the butt. And why does your character look like a... Do you know a Bibendum?
Bibendum?
Yeah, Google Bibendum really quick.
No, what is that?
You can't Google it? Do I have to Google it?
Yeah.
The Michelin Man. You look like the Michelin Man.
That's because I am the Michelin Man. Is that his name?
You look like an
Bibendum?
onion.
Onion.
You look like if the Michelin Man was selling onions.
This is the Onion Knight, bro. The bones are their money. Oh wait, no, I don't want to match make. I want to go solo. No.
So if you are employed, are you able to play this game?
Yeah, this game I have a retarded number of hours in. Like, actually retarded. Let's see what
Like,
it
can
is.
employed people also play the game or no?
Yeah, they can. My employed friends have done pretty well in this game. I've played 160 hours since it came out, probably like less than a month ago. Actually, about exactly a month ago. So What's
You
160
spent
divided by
week.
24? I've spent a week out of the last month in this game.
more, but yeah,
More than a
much
week
more.
of the last month of my life.
No, it's about a week. Yeah, 160. Yeah, it's about a week.
It's been in this fucking game. How retarded is that?
So the eagle of that's the bird of.
I hate having your face on my screen. Why is this happening? How do I turn that
Oh,
on?
I now I see it and I like it. Now
Yeah.
I see that there's a
Alright,
tiny me
whatever.
and I like that a lot.
Alright, whatever. I'll keep you down there.
I
but
like
it's
how little it
it's
is.
so distracting. Is that gonna whatever.
I like that it's tiny.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. I guess it doesn't really
This is Zelda. This
Yeah.
is Zelda.
basically Zelda.
This is what they do in Zelda. You fly on the bird to the Shadowland.
Exactly.
Who's Fear?
I don't know. I meant to go solo, but I queued up with these guys, so we'll see.
Is this
Might be
like
okay.
is this like Black Ops Zombies?
No.
Then what is this? What are you doing?
It's actually more like Fortnite.
So the wait.
Oh, it's Night Rain.
Yeah.
I thought it was like Fortnite. He said so. He got me into that.
It is. I mean, it kind of is. It's just not against other people.
Yeah, it's just against mobs. I mean,
It's like a dungeon crawl with a Fortnite skin.
Dungeon crawl.
Yeah. It's
I think we
fun.
should play Infamous. Do you have Fortnite?
Oh hell no. I play the finals though. Finals is a sick game.
Finals? What was that?
The finals. It's an FPS that was made by the people who left the Battlefield team. And it's like a completely destructible. Every map they have is completely destructible. You can use like rocket launchers and like fire grenades and shit like that. It's so fucking fun.
Sweet.
They should not put tall buildings in that game.
There's a church.
Oh no, you can bomb the church, Reese.
You can absolutely
I've heard
bomb
of
the
that.
church.
Actually, I
That
think I've
church
seen-
has fallen so many times. In fact, the platform literally goes through the church.
Wait, I saw a
Jesus
clip of
Christ.
this game. I'm pretty sure if it's the same game, but yeah, you can like blow up the church, you can do whatever. But if you try to like shoot the Star of David, the game doesn't let you.
Yeah.
I don't think that the Star of David is in the game, so I don't think so.
That was
dare
probably
you
some
say
like
Star of
meme
David.
clip, but
No, it's fun. There's like 3 classes. Light is like fast, and you can go you can either go invis, have a grappling hook to get fucking anywhere, or like have a dash where it's like 3 dashes you can do. Heavy is like, you want to go through that wall, you can go through that wall. You just rush through like anything in front of you for a few seconds. Like you take down whole fucking buildings. There's the goo gun, which is
gun.
it's just like you put globs of structures in places and you can climb it and shit. And then
that was my nickname in high school, the goo gun.
shut up.
Gun.
And then what is it? It was the other one for the heavy is fuck. I don't know. The goo gun. Oh, and the mesh shield is just Reinhardt from Overwatch.
Yeah, I played Overwatch back in the day.
Yeah, I played Overwatch 1 and then nothing.
Yeah,
after that.
same, yeah.
And then medium is just like your typical fucking FPS cunt. He's just like, he has a heal beam, or he can do like a turret, and the other one is fuck. I don't remember. No one uses the other one. Oh wait, no, never mind. Everyone uses the other one. It's a DMAT. You literally just hack the fucking environment and like move through objects and shit.
It's pretty awesome.
But yeah, it's like a digital. It's set in a world where all war is sorted by playing in the finals, which is a digital VR game.
So what are you doing tonight?
I'm vegging out tonight, I think, just because I got so much shit going on this weekend.
I want to see 28 Years Later.
I don't really want to see that. I saw you wanted to
Why
see it in
not?
4D, but I'm like out of town.
4D. What do you want to smell the rotting corpses?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
My
No,
buddy,
just-
our buddy
maybe I'll
SIE,
watch an IMAX.
he only watches movies in 4D. He showed me his
Really?
like history, his like Fandango or whatever history, and every single movie he's ever seen in theaters for the last like year has been in 4D.
He's seen the Fast and Furious. What's he watching? Is this like Fast 9? Like,
Yeah, no, but it's funny. He'll go
Mission
see. You know what he
Impossible.
saw in 4D? He's like, he went to see Sinners in 4D. He's like, man, that shit sucked. My chair didn't even shake till the third act.
Brother, are you there for like? Are you there to like? Why are you there for the chair action? Like,
Yeah,
Yes, evidently that's
quite
why-
literally, quite literally.
Yes.
2 out of 10, 0 chair action. Like,
Zero, like water being squirted in my face.
what?
Yeah,
So
when we were
funny,
watching
dude.
the boy in the striped pajamas, that scene.
Yeah,
with the burning,
exactly.
My chair was
You
Couldn't
freaking
even
out.
smell the gas.
Yeah. But he's pissed because his girlfriend got pregnant, right? And he's happy about that. But
In 4D?
Bye.
yeah, but she can't go to 4D movies anymore because she's pregnant. So now he's like asking us to go with him. Like, dude, it costs like $60 to go to one of these things.
Really?
$60?
Yeah,
I'll go with him if you.
You should. I mean, I'll go with him as well. I haven't been to a 4D movie in like fucking forever. But
All right, we'll do this today.
yeah, so it's like $30+ for the ticket, and then like
How long's he
whatever
been with this girl?
popcorn and shit you're gonna get. A long time, like 10 years. They're
Oh,
really
that's
happy. He's
fine.
really happy that they're having a kid, but
Oh, that's beautiful.
yeah.
Are they legal?
Has he got the money?
What do you mean by legal? And what do you mean
Meaning
by
if
money?
I called ICE,
Yeah.
would he be fine?
Oh yeah, he'd be fine. Barely. Although there was a rumor going around the comedy
Barely.
scene last week. Yeah, that SIE got deported, and then he just showed up. And everyone was like, "Oh, I thought you got deported." He's like, "Man, what the fuck? I was born in America, you fuckers."
I'm pretty sure Beto.
Well, see, I was
like,
here
being
legally, then I left for a holiday, and now I'm back illegally.
yeah, exactly.
What was the thing Beto posted on his story where he's like, "Yeah, you might not hear from me for 6 months," and it's just like, "What the fuck?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm going away."
I'm going away.
I'm going away, dude. That's nuts.
No, he was. I think he's fine, but he was very much like, "Yeah, I'm going to jail for 6 months."
Oh my god. Yeah, I actually did hear Beto was. I think it was Beto, but there was someone else too. Like, did Fonto ever?
Oh
get
my god, I
deported?
just realized you're using the Onion Knight armor from fucking Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Fonto always is in and out of jail, but also he's
What's his name?
experienced in it, so he has better lawyers. Fonto.
Fonto, yeah. He got, like,
Fonto?
yeah. Like
Yeah,
Fanto.
he's
but,
Armenian.
Oh, his name's actually Fanta.
Like, no.
I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
don't know his name.
Yeah, I have no idea.
That's what he goes by. I don't ask questions.
I had someone in I had a fucking friend, I don't remember where he's from, I think he was from Czech. But
Last time, oh sorry.
no, it's just like his name was Ugiesha Buzalovic. And I was like, I'm not calling you that, you're Ugi now.
No, the last time I asked Fonto a question was when I asked him to prove that he got stabbed in the stomach, and then he pulled up his shirt, and that was the last time I asked him a question.
Damn, bro.
You got stabbed in the chest, Infamous?
Well, I got slashed in the chest.
Really? How?
You hanging out
what
with the
happened?
fucking Peaky Blinders?
Yeah.
No.
How does this happen?
Who'd you
I
get
don't know,
slashed
it's
by?
life. Like,
But like what? By like your own kitchen knife, or like there's a huge difference
pretty
between
sure-
like getting mugged and then like slashing yourself
I
with
mean,
like
he
a.
was in school.
Wait, someone like
Very
stabbed.
interesting.
I'm pretty sure it was like a woodworking knife. Or, no, metalworking knife.
Did they have beef with you?
It was like a scribe.
Yeah,
I
did
mean,
you have
not
it
up until
coming?
that point, I just annoyed them because they were a cunt and they were doing cunt things. So I called
He
them out.
Infamous annoyed someone so much you got stabbed over it. That's crazy.
Yo, trust me, he didn't do it again.
To be fair, in
Uh,
LA, that could happen pretty easily.
Yeah, probably actually.
To be fair, no, he didn't even stab me. He like slashed me across the chest. So I like as I backed away, like he would have fucked me up.
Did he get kicked out of school for this?
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, for us, it was like if you said like the N word, it was like very bad. You got suspended for a week.
Yeah, no, he slashed me. I kicked him in the chest, and he fell over a desk, and then we got separated. Nothing happened after
That is crazy. That is fucking
Apparently,
crazy.
I fractured, like I gave him a hairline fracture in one of his ribs, so I think I got him back.
Yeah, you.
No
Yeah.
worries.
Because I kicked him in like an awkward way, like my leg kind of hurt, where it was like, I didn't kick him square in the chest, I kicked him like off of it, and it like kept putting force on like his fucking, his his rib.
Did he bring the knife to school, or was it in class?
No, it's a scribe. It's something for metalwork. It's the only other thing you use
Okay,
for scribing
yeah.
metalwork. Yeah.
Did anyone ever bring a gun to your school, Reese, in Carolina?
Fucking cat, get down.
Let's see. No, show the cat.
No, I can't. Did anyone ever bring a gun to school in South Carolina? Not that to my knowledge. They probably had like hunting guns in their cars and stuff. But a kid did bring a knife to school like when I was in like 6th grade, and then the teachers found it or whatever, and they were like gonna get him in trouble. And then he told them that I gave it to him. And I was like,
Did you?
no. I was like, well, what kind of retarded story is that? Like, I'm the knife dealer at the 6th grade in my elementary school.
South Carolina knife
I'm
dealer.
the South Carolina knife dealer. But not that just that I gave it to him, like he solicited it, but like tried to make it like I was the reason this guy had this knife. Like I encouraged him or like enticed him to have it. I was like, what the?
And then you said you got to use this to stab people.
But yeah, well, man, that is if you have a knife.
Yeah.
Knives are for stabbing.
Hey, that's my lucky stabbing hat.
Alright, we're balling here. I need to focus up a little bit. I kind of let these guys down.
You let them down.
I let these down. That's why I like playing single player.
Game,
Yeah.
I got into a game with fucking some like, cause in the finals it's 3 of you, and you like try and plant like cash boxes and shit. And whoever has the most cash at the end wins. But like, this guy kept calling me Incock.
Incuck?
Instead of infamous, it was Incock. And I was like, why is he calling me Incock?
You better be careful of this. You might have a new
Look,
nickname.
is it
on the
clever?
channel.
No. Is it funny? Yes.
Yeah.
I was so, no, it wasn't funny. I was just very confused.
Yeah, that is really funny. Incuck.
Yeah, it's not clever, but it is funny.
He was so positive about it too. He wasn't just it wasn't an insult. He was just being positive about it. He goes, "Oh, I call everyone that. I just take the first part of their day, and then I put that in front of
I call everyone that.
them." And then I'd get like 2 kills, and he'd be like, "Nice job."
What about once? What does he do for 1-syllable name?
I think he just adds it.
He just says, "So I'd be Reese Cuck."
Yeah, sure. If you want to die. It's like...
Oh, I want to be.
Yeah, I'm letting you drown.
Oh, do we have a key? Oh, we do have a key. We have the keys.
What's the goal for this game mode?
Let's get as strong as possible before each day ends. There's 3 days. And you have to beat the boss at the end of the 3rd day.
So you're collecting as many Clonker tokens as you can, so you can play against. Got it.
I saw a fucking meme yesterday where it was like, this is how the conversation with Trump and Israel went. There was, you have 12 hours to do a ceasefire. And it's like, so I have 12 hours to bomb. Like, no, you have 12 hours.
Yeah, literally.
To be a ceasefire.
Well, that
And he
was...
goes,
Yeah.
so we're saying I have 12 hours. And he goes, no, wait, hold on. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
To be fair, that is what he's saying.
Well,
Of
cause...
course you'd say that.
Well, no, because he...
Well, I
literally
mean-
yeah. In the ceasefire thing, he was like, they're gonna carry out a few measly attacks that they still had planned. I was like, do they have to? Can they just not do that? That's crazy, man. Like, kind of a weird ceasefire terms to be like,
I
yeah.
love at one point Israel was just like, or not Israel, like Trump at one point literally just went, I'm not happy with Israel. I'm not
Yeah.
happy with them.
I'm not
piss me
happy.
off." Like,
He
That's
said
how pro
fuck on
Iran
TV.
everyone's been recently.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not particularly-
Everyone's been.
Yeah, everyone's been. A
Iran.
lot of people have been very
Listen,
pro
I'm pro
Iran.
Iran in terms of their defense of themselves and attack of Israel. I am not pro what they do with their culture a lot of the time.
Right, yeah, I was gonna say.
Let's make
Yeah,
a
but-
very differentiation here. Do I think that Do I think they have a right to defend themselves?
But who,
Absolutely.
but who in the world is spending the most money on funding terrorist organizations?
Probably
They're
around.
classed as a terrorist organization.
No, it's not the United States. It's Iran. They've spent $1 billion throughout the world on different terrorist sects. Okay, they're very obviously funding terrorism. They obviously don't care about their people at all. They very much don't like Jews. I think that it's very tough, this situation, because we've gotten to the point with
people in
Israel.
very much don't like Muslims. Like,
I don't think that's fair to say.
I don't think the other thing's fair to say.
What if you look at the charter of Hezbollah, you look at the charter of Hamas, it's very clearly stated their goals against the Jewish people. You'll find nothing similar to that in Israel.
Sure, no, hold on. That isn't true because we've literally seen people who are like next to Netanyahu say, "I want those fucking cunts gone. I want them gone."
Well, hold on. I'm not talking about the Netanyahu government. I'm talking about Israel.
Oh, I am.
Okay, but firstly, you can't deny the
in
fact
the same
that
way that you're not talking about the general people of Iran, I'm not talking about the general people of Israel.
Yeah, and I'm talking about how the governments of Iran have destroyed their own people, and they don't give a fuck about human life. Let me pull up the Hezbollah goals. Let me pull up Hezbollah's charter.
Yeah, I mean, hey, just because fucking Hitler killed everyone that wasn't his people and fucking
Hezbollah's primary and
Russian
core
guy-
objective, as stated in its fundamental documents, is the destruction of Israel. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying I support that.
the point I'm making is that the problem is that Israel's done so much fucked up shit over the past 2 years that they start defending themselves against people that I think it's more or less reasonable to defend against, and people are very happy
If
about.
Israel wants to protect themselves against people who are just anti fucking Jew, right? That's fine. I'd start protecting myself against people who are anti fucking Irish,
Yeah.
but like, no offense, you started bombing cunts for no reason. Like, you started bombing cunts that had nothing to do with the reason you started this. Not zero things. I don't care what anyone says. It's just nothing to do with it. You started
No, and that's
blasting a fucking country because of one incident. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of people died, right? Is it anything to start a fucking major war over? No, it's not. I hate to say it. It's not all or nothing. And I hate people who go, it's all or nothing.
Well, the war's been going on. That being said, I definitely agree with what you said. The fact that my point immediately after all this happened in 2023 October is that regardless, Israel may have the right to defend itself, but they're going to use this as the wanton
As an
excuse to
excuse.
kill as many civilians as possible. And then when they get into wars where they're much more reasonable in defending themselves, people are going to cheer on bombs getting sent to Tel Aviv
Yeah, this
because
is
of
a
the actions
huge
that Israel
problem
has
for-
taken.
Yeah, this is a huge problem for the Jewish people now. Like, it's a huge problem.
Oh,
And it's all
absolutely.
because of,
Absolutely.
it's a huge problem for the Jewish people because of what Netanyahu has done.
Oh, absolutely.
Like Netanyahu has actively done more damage to the Jews than arguably maybe Hitler.
Okay, sweet.
I wouldn't go that far, but I understand your point.
Well, in future generations, because don't get me wrong, the immediate death toll of what Hitler did to the Jewish population, right, was astoundingly awful, right?
Yeah.
Did it get them a lot of sympathy in the next 30 years? Yeah, it did. This is the opposite. He's fighting for the Jewish people and killing people, but it's not going to get them much fucking empathy going forward in the next 30
I
years.
see your point. I understand your point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I love how the point is
I
basically
think-
like, well, the Jews, like Netanyahu being a bad leader for Israel will make him like Hitler because he's such a bad leader that will be righteous in hating the Jews going forward. Like, that doesn't really make sense.
I mean, other people will. Well, I'm saying other people will feel that way. I mean, do you not think people will
No,
feel
I
that
think
way?
people
already hate Jews
people
for
already
no
do
reason.
feel that way.
absolutely.
I think, but people have always
Yeah, but
hated.
they're going to be emboldened, and people are going to believe those other people. Think about the amount of people being like, "Ye was right."
I used to make jokes about like one of the jokes I used to make, especially in high school and stuff, was like, yeah, obviously it happened, but 6 million, and then you go on Instagram and you see so many people saying it seriously.
I know,
like
it's
that
so
joke
stupid.
is just no longer funny, you know?
Yeah,
It's like the
exactly.
flat Earth thing.
Yeah. No, that's
So
true.
I debated against a flat earther one time.
Really?
Actually, no, I lied.
Why?
I didn't debate. I refused.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah.
Bro, this was in my prime debate days, dude. This dude was scary, right?
Yeah,
At
what was
one
his
point,
argument?
He pulled out. No, I didn't even hear his argument, bro. He pulled out a fucking mega folder and the top one was called The Truth. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I don't need to talk to him about this. It's like, The Truth? Nah. And then he clicked into it and it was like, The Truth Part 1, The Truth Part 3, The Truth Part 4. Nah, I'm done. I don't want to talk to him. Like,
So Reese, who's your favorite member of the Howard Stern show?
Definitely Beetlejuice.
He's not a member of the show though.
No, counts in my book.
Alright, fair.
Other than that, like,
So would you say the Draconic Tree Sentinel is similar to Netanyahu?
yeah, definitely. This thing fucking sucks.
That's fair. Good comparison.
I mean, he's definitely riding Trump that way.
This thing is a warmonger, bro.
I remember, like, when I was still in school, like, months ago, they were, like, it was right after the election, and someone was talking about how, like, liberal people wouldn't vote for Kamala because of the way that, like, Biden's handled, like, the situation in the Middle East. And I'm just like, were there people that actually did that? And I'm like, is that reason? Like, because that's insane. And then people in my class challenged me, like, no, it's not insane, it's reasonable. And I'm like, do you think it's reasonable to not vote and then embolden the guy that there's like, my point being that Netanyahu has a preference to who wins this election, and it's not the Democratic Party. Why does it matter how Biden's dealt with it?
It's also like, it's also a thing where, like, if you had to talk with Netanyahu as often as Biden did, I'd have dementia too.
Yeah.
Wait, why did they talk? They were buddies.
I mean, no,
he's the U.S. president. He has to talk to Israel.
and
Yeah.
the Republican Party is notoriously going to do more for them. And historically, Netanyahu
What?
and
Since
Trump
when?
have been
Since when is
since
there?
2016 when Trump declared Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. That was massive for them.
Yeah, yeah.
You know that.
No, I get
remember
that.
I
I
Did you
get
see the
that.
2028 thing in the Oval Office where he's gonna try and run again?
I doubt it, but we'll see.
He
That'd be
literally
nice.
got like a 2028 thing and he posted it, so he's gonna try.
I mean, he's gooning. I think he might just.
I think
be.
he's just gooning on us.
I think a lot of times he's rage baiting.
Yeah.
Did you ever just see his post and I'm like, that's rage bait? Like,
I don't know why. This
like
guy's
Trump
so...
Gaza was
It's
a
so
nuts
sad
post.
the things that are happening over in America, bro. Sometimes, like,
Yeah,
it's just so
Really?
sad.
I'm fucking hype on America right now. I'm so pumped to be here. Like,
So
not
Why?
even.
pumped to be here. It's crazy.
He's pumped
I
about
really
the
am.
deportations because we live in
Pumped about the
California.
deportation,
He might get a job now.
Yeah, I might actually be able to get
Yeah,
a job.
He might get a job.
I might get a job as a. I'm not gonna say.
Day laborer.
Yeah.
I just love that no Republican ever has like answered the question. Where I won't say no Republican ever because they have different stances on
I'll
this.
probably
I'm just
answer it
gonna say
right now. Let's go.
Okay. Any Republican who has ever said, I want the deportation of all illegal immigrants, have no plan for actually structurally both, one, removing them, and two, actually replacing the work that they do and money they bring in.
What are you talking about? That's literally. First of all, to your first point, that's literally happening right now. So that's the plan. And then
No,
to your
they're
second
just
point,
deporting a bunch of people without constitutional basis.
that's not true.
They're just doing illegal
No,
things.
everybody gets it. No, they're not. Everyone has due process. What are you talking about?
No, they don't. What are you talking
Yes,
about?
they do.
The people who got,
The
the people
due-
who got
you know what?
deported recently didn't have due process.
Yes, they did. What are you talking about?
Okay, if you say so.
Well, no, I'll just show you. This is the due process. Are you a citizen of this country, or are you here illegally? Oh, you're here illegally? Okay, get out. That's the due process. Literally. That's
due
all you need.
process.
Yes, it
Reese,
is. That's the
Reese. No, it's
definition of
Reese.
due
The
process.
Constitution, it literally states
The Constitution
persons,
does-
not citizens.
Reese, that's
Okay.
what I was gonna get at. He's right.
Yeah.
It's
Okay. It
the-
says
It
persons,
states
not
No,
citizens.
persons, not citizens. But
That
anytime
due process
someone's
doesn't
like,
mean a
"The Second
trial."
Amendment because it yes,
That's
it does.
irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Due process does not mean
It does
trial.
because
It
it's
means
the
due
right
process.
of all persons. It's not the right of all citizens.
Oh, so every
Reese,
single
he's-
person who outside of
Reese.
the America deserves a trial in America.
Reese,
Yes,
the
correct.
point-
If you're in America, you deserve it. Yeah, that's in the Constitution. Read it, Blake.
Oh, great! I'm
Reese,
glad you love our
Reese.
country so much, our egalitarian country.
Reese,
Yeah, what's up?
I know you're just disagreeing, but with all due respect,
Yeah, yeah.
he's just
Hit me with it.
quoting the Constitution, and to
I know,
be
but
fair,
his
the
interpretation
founding
of it is
fathers
wrong.
wrote. No,
The
no, it's
interpretation
not.
is the
That's
same
not
interpretation
fair.
people use for the Second Amendment, where they say that right shall not be infringed because it's very specific language. That is very.
You
Specific
said there was no
language.
due
All persons,
process.
not
I'm not.
citizens.
I don't know what you're talking. You said there was no due process. I
Do
said
you
there
know what
is
due
due
process
process.
is?
Due process
Due
is.
process isn't any
Yeah.
process.
Okay, okay. What is due process? You explain to me what due
Standing
Due
process.
trial.
process is the right. The due process is a right.
Court
to
of law.
court of
to
law.
a trial by a jury of your peers?
Yeah.
Okay, so who are their peers?
The people.
Of?
America.
Right.
Reese, that point makes no sense. With all due respect.
Listen, man. I'm saying
You can either respect the Constitution or you cannot. Okay.
If you're here
And whether or not-
illegally, I mean, what are you supposed to do? Like, what is the due process? What would the due process be? Like,
Bro,
every
it's the same
single
for any
illegal
citizen.
immigrant?
It's the same for every
No,
citizen.
it's not.
the same
Because
for
if they want to
our
deport
founding
us,
fathers-
Constitution.
Reese, the reason
You
our
guys are
founding
crazy,
fathers wrote
man.
persons is because they were there illegally. Okay.
yeah, exactly.
No, that's not ridiculous to say. They wrote persons. Okay.
I don't care that
and
they
whether
wrote
or not you
persons.
like it, if you're a
What do you mean you don't care? Then you don't care about the Second
let me
Amendment.
explain. Let me say,
You
because
guys are
the
retarded.
strict constitutionalists used the Constitution to justify all types of things. To Infamous's point, the Second Amendment being one of them.
Great.
If you are going to interpret the Constitution in a strict way, then you have to interpret the word strictly in the wording of the Constitution, meaning persons wouldn't just entitle due process for citizens. It would entitle every person
but
in the
my
US.
argument isn't that they don't deserve due process. That's not my argument. So you guys are misunderstanding my argument. My argument is they are getting due process. Are you here illegally? Yes, you are. Leave. That's the due process. Yes, it is.
That you think is fair. It's not
Yeah,
due process.
yeah.
Due process has a definition.
Okay, can someone look that up for me while I'm playing and get that up?
Sure.
Yeah, I got you.
Due process clause. 5th and 14th.
What exactly is due process? Like, dude,
I'll look
do you
up
do you
personal
actually think that
process
every
as well.
single illegal like cartel or whatever member that comes across the border needs a trial? Hey! Listen to the point. I'm not calling every Mexican that's here illegally in the cartel. I'm absolutely not doing that. So don't misrepresent me. But I'm saying, do you think that the system in America is that when we catch someone that needs to be deported, we give them a full trial, we put them in prison for months, and then we wait, we put together a jury and give them a That's never been
That's
the
what
case.
happens with deportation.
That's not even
Yes, you do
sensical.
mass
Happens with
trials.
deportations. You literally go to we do mass
Yeah.
trials. You literally
That's
go
what we're
to jail.
doing right now. That's what this is, and then you're saying it's not due process.
But Infamous's
This isn't
point
all
over
getting
hold
due
on.
process. A lot of them aren't getting due process.
Infamous's original point was that there was
Yeah.
they did it without very much of a plan of how to do so. To be fair, I don't think that's unfair to say.
I think that is
recently
completely
hearing
unfair
reports
to
of how
say.
the detention I don't think they plan to have all these people in detention centers and then plan the legal system for how this is going to work. I don't think they anticipated this the way they wanted to get people out of the country as quick as possible. I don't think they considered how it's going to work. in a
We
legal
got Fern
sense.
Devon. I think they knew exactly how it was going to work. Wait, we got Fern Devon in the. I think this is the literal thing they campaigned on and ran on, and this is what they did when Trump got elected the first time, and it worked when he got elected the first time, and now they're doing it again, and everyone's complaining. It makes no sense.
One, how do you know it worked? And two, he didn't.
Because we didn't have a record illegal immigration, people absolutely flooding into the country with zero checks or criminality.
That they have provided.
What?
Can you provide these, or are you saying that they have been provided and just taking it on their word? Because
What has
anyone
been
that
provided?
campaigns on that point, these papers you're talking about, these documentations, like what are their
What
names?
documentation? What are you
where's
talking
list
about?
of
The problem
papers?
is the lack of
The one you
documentation.
mentioned!
What did I mention? I didn't. Did I mention like a document?
Okay, a documentation for the exports of illegal immigrants.
Oh yeah, you want to see what
And you
that?
provide their
Sure.
documentation to prove they weren't legal.
Is
Or
that
we'll give
your
them due
argument?
process.
Sorry. Is your argument actually? Can I provide you their immigration
The
papers?
list, the list.
What's up, friend Devon? Welcome, brother. Do you got any take on this? I'm guessing probably not, but welcome to our little chat here.
I just want to, because you're saying that a bunch of people were deported. I just want the list of how many people were deported. Like you're saying, it worked so well the first time.
Sure. Oh
Can
yeah,
you give me a
yeah,
list
yeah,
of someone in the
yeah.
Biden
How
administration
many?
and the Obama administration? Because if it's so vastly,
Oh, Obama deported more people than Trump actually in his first
so
2016.
there we go.
But that's so. How does that hurt my argument? Actually, that helps
Because
my
he's
argument because you said that we have no.
It doesn't help your argument.
We
It
have
doesn't help
no
your argument.
method
Because
for-
if they got more.
I
if
want
they
one
got
Republican to
deported,
answer
then-
me. How do we deport all these people and have any sort of real way to do it and work it out? Blah 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 blah. Hey, how about the Democrat that did it for 8 years? Does he have a
Why
plan?
wouldn't you support him? Why wouldn't you support him though?
Because I don't support him on other
things.
things. Because I don't support him on other things. I support him on deportation.
Why you think that's a good argument? Because it's not a good argument. The main reason it's not a good argument is because I didn't say that you shouldn't deport all illegal immigrants. I said they should get due process. Under Obama, they got due process.
Yeah, under Trump we do too, idiot. Wait. Do you think the illegal immigrants that Obama deported got more due process than the ones that Trump has been deported?
What do you mean more? I didn't say that. I said they got due process.
Wait, but your argument was that.
Let me finish my point. Point.
All right.
There's a huge scandal about the amount of people that are getting deported under the not Biden administration, under the Trump administration.
What do you mean by scandal?
Who aren't getting due process?
Okay.
The word.
Okay, can you show me some documentation that a bunch of people are getting deported without due process? Just because you asked me for my documentation, so you're the one making the positive claim right now. Let's just see if that's true. I don't even believe that, first of all, but if it's true, then we can address it. And then my secondary question would be, would you be complaining if it's the case that the exact same methods now that Obama used in 2008 are being used?
I think we should get back to, let me chime in. I feel like we should get back to the start of this, which was you saying that, which was infamous saying that they started deporting people without as much of a plan, and they didn't consider how it would go, and you saying that this is exactly how it was supposed to go, this is exactly what people voted for, and the point that Infamous is making, which by the point that you're now making, in fact backs up Infamous's point, because if Obama was so much better at deporting and giving and whatever than Trump was doing, then that now shows that the Democrats were doing Trump's job, what he thought he could do better than him.
I don't think it's a Democrat problem.
And that Trump ran on a lie.
Which is so weird to
wait, no. Wait, hold on. Lot of things there. Infamous, lot of things there. They were not already doing it. Joe Biden let in millions and millions and millions of undocumented immigrants.
We're talking about after the Obama.
Yeah, fine. So, yeah, totally fine. So I'm talking about now. I'm talking about the present and what's going on relative to deportation. And you're trying to say, well, this other time period works exactly for my point, so I'm going to do that. But so
I mean, I switched to it for an example because you said that you're okay with Obama's immigration.
But I am relatively okay with Obama's immigration plan. We didn't have unbridled immigration under Obama. I'm not okay with all his other policies. That's why I wouldn't support Obama or a Democrat. But if a Democrat has a good idea, I'm not going to say that it's bad just because they're a Democrat. So that doesn't attack my point. One, it would be an ad hominem, but also I don't believe that. So my point is that people are being deported for good reason, and I'm sure there are a few people who have fallen through the cracks. Why am I?
The Fourth Amendment, Reese. Go to the Fourth Amendment.
Because I just looked up removal of aliens who have entered the United States. Amendment 5.6.2.3. Okay, but I'm looking up
Fourth Amendment.
This amendment is
any person
titled
of life, liberty, or property without due process.
I understand. This references the Fourth Amendment. No person shall be held to answer for capital or otherwise infamous crime, unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land or naval forces or in the militia, when in the actual service in time of war or public danger. Nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be put twice in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. Totally agree. All of that is beautiful. Should be abided by, especially the due process. My argument, remember, I'm not saying that they shouldn't. I'm not saying that they should not have due process. I'm saying they are getting it. That's my argument. So you have to show me that due process is not being.
You're saying they're here illegally, and therefore they should just be deported.
Yes.
That's against their own freedom.
But that is due process. I mean, what are you talking?
Against their freedoms, brother.
You don't have freedom to do anything. Do I have freedom to murder people?
Brother, look at the fucking Fourth Amendment that you just wrote. You just read it. You read what rights they had.
Yeah.
Okay,
where does it say you're allowed to live?
Illegally? Go away.
Where does it say you're allowed to live in the country illegally?
If they own anything in the country, even land, you're not allowed to go onto their land with.
Oh, really? Oh, Infamous the constitutional lawyer. Does that even make sense, dude? That doesn't even make fucking sense. I'm sure they pay a lot.
Wait, hold on. Not being allowed to go on someone's private property without warrant or reason doesn't make sense to you?
No, of course it does. You dummy.
Then what the fuck are you talking about?
You know what doesn't make sense? Being in the country illegally and being allowed to stay. That's what doesn't make sense. I can't believe you're arguing this.
And own land, that's on the
oh, then suddenly you're a constitution. Oh, then suddenly you're a citizen. Right, good point. Yeah. I agree. You should be subject to due process. And if what happens is that you're here illegally.
To come and get me.
Yeah. Which is what these people have.
Let's say you had a kid, Reese.
Which is what
let's say
ICE
you have
has.
a kid. That kid's a citizen, is it not?
Depends. Yeah, but I think so usually.
It doesn't depend. If the kid was born in the United States.
Oh yeah. If the kid was born there, yeah.
It doesn't depend.
If he's born, you didn't say he was born there. Yeah, you didn't say he was born in America, but yeah.
I did say he was born in America. If the kid was born in America.
Okay, fine. Yeah, you just said if you have a kid there, but I guess I see what you mean. Okay, great. And
so you think that this American citizen's parents should just be deported without going to a court? They should just immediately be sent back to their home country.
I think they should be subject to due process. I don't know what that looks like in terms of illegal immigration. If that's like a jury of your peers.
Know what due process looks like.
We just said.
Yeah.
Looks like.
Oh, where did it describe what it is? Can you tell me where it defined what it is?
Reese, you said that due process would be deporting them back to their country.
Yeah. Well, no, that would no, that wouldn't be the due process itself. That would be the correct outcome of a due process.
So what are we arguing about here?
I don't know. I totally agree. If you're here illegally, you should be deported. I agree.
He's saying that due process is just you're here illegally, goodbye.
No, I'm saying I don't know what due process is, but it doesn't make sense.
Due process would be going to
millions and millions.
How do you know it's been given?
Well, because you guys have never given any definition for this, and you're the one that started the argument. So I don't know what.
We did.
What do you mean by due process? Well, let me just ask you.
Court of law and standing trial.
Oh, okay, then I'm not sure that's true. Let's look it up.
Okay, procedural due process requires that legal processes like trials, hearings, and government actions
rules
before depriving the person of rights.
Oh.
Substantive due process protects certain fundamental rights like privacy and free speech from government interference, and
okay, so read that first sentence again. What exactly is it again? Read that first sentence.
Requires that legal processes like trials, hearings, and government actions.
Trials, hearings, and what? Government actions are fair and follow rules? So exactly what I'm describing?
Follow rules before...
You can't just say that government taking action is fair. That's ridiculous.
No, of course it's not. But I'm saying if
fair, what are you talking about?
Dude, you guys are being so dense. That's obviously not what I'm saying. I hate the government. So you know that. So don't put stuff on me that you know I'm not saying.
Hold on, because you just said government actions, huh?
Yes.
What?
Because
that's not an argument.
Wait, stop. You guys said due process is when you go to a court. You read the definition of due process. That's not what it is. That's the government action part I was pointing at.
Like
and then I said, yeah. Oh, sorry. What's that? Was it like trials and just trials?
What actions do you think are legal processes?
Hey. Can I finish a point here? Is it just trials? Is it just hearings? Or is it just...
We said trials. At least I did.
I mean, now you're just being totally... I mean, come on, Henry. That's disingenuous, right? You guys literally just told me due process is going to a court.
If you are illegal in the country, you get a trial. That's one part of due process.
Yeah, or wait, but or can you get a fair government action?
Let me go. I think that Infamous is...
Read the sentence again, you fucker, dude. You just read the sentence twice, and it says that.
Action isn't expanded upon, brother.
I think Infamous is being a little bit disingenuous. Reporting someone without a trial is a...
Of course it is.
Somehow, in a way that favors his argument. What is a government act?
Look it up.
Then you don't know. It doesn't support your point if you have...
You read is, so whose point is worse here?
Processes like trials.
Yeah.
Government actions such as follow fair and established rules before
Makes sense.
Arrests have to be long. How about bringing them to the jail? That's them in the process. That's also a government.
That's what I'm talking. Did I say that? Do you actually
support you?
What? Dude,
that's the only thing that would support
Infamous,
argument. So what
Infamous,
do you mean by government
I need
action?
you to smoke a joint or something and just calm down one level. This is getting way too heated right now, and I don't even know why. I don't even know why it's getting heated like this. You're not, whatever. So, I said,
angry. I just argue like this.
I know.
You're just
guys,
talking too
can
loud,
I?
and it's
You're just
getting
talking too
insane.
loud. It's
Hold on,
getting a
let me
little
turn down my
aggressive.
gain. Let me
Yeah,
turn
yeah.
down my gain.
Also, so listen, but it's also your energy. You're like coming at it with this forceful, like angry energy, as if like I'm the enemy that's
I
deporting
swear to
every
God,
Mexican
I'm
or
not
something.
angry.
I know. Okay, so anyway, can I?
Let me put it
Okay,
this
so
way.
if you
Reese is not
calm down,
racist. Reese isn't,
yeah,
like,
whatever. I don't
fucking-
care.
yeah, like-
Okay, call me racist. I don't care. Can I present you the argument?
I am racist.
Can I present you the argument? At least my response pattern. So this is what you guys told me. You told me the illegal immigrants in America, and you didn't say all, so I'm not saying that. You said a lot or some. The implication was a lot. If it's one or two and people fall through the cracks, that is wrong. That's unjust. That needs to be fixed and not done, right? But you said illegal immigrants that are being deported from America are not subject to due process. I said, I believe that they are. You said, then we got a bunch of other bullshit. Then we looked up due process. Well, first I asked you, what does due process mean? I don't even know what that means. Do you guys know what it means when you made that claim that they're not subject to due process? Yeah, and then you said, yeah, they have to have a trial. They have to have, show up in a court? That's what you said?
Yes,
And
that is what
I said, okay, well, if that's what it means, then we can talk about that. But let's look it up because I don't know what it means. And you guys are saying something, but clearly you don't know what it means. So we look it up.
That was what
and
it
it
meant.
says, no, that's not what it meant. It says subject to a trial, a hearing, a hearing, or a government action that's subject to fair rules. So if the government action is, hey, we have a tip or we have a list or your employer told us because we already fined them and arrested them that you are here illegally, do you have citizenship? Do you have a birth certificate, a passport, an ID that proves that you are in fact legal here? And you show
We've already established that's irrelevant.
Why is that irrelevant?
Having due process.
That is the
Because
process.
that's relevant.
I'm perfectly fine with procedural due process. If you show up in court and don't have any documentation that you are from this country or that you live in this country, that you don't have like social.
But what if it's just documented not in court? Because as the definition of due process you just read, doesn't it say anything about there having to be a court?
What are you talking about? It says you get.
Where does it say that? It says a trial, a hearing, or a government action that's fair. Dude, government actions don't only happen in courts.
Because this is the third time this has happened, and I will not be called intellectually fucking bankrupt for it, because this is a fair response to what you just said. Like trials, hearings,
Gotcha.
and government actions. What government action do you think is taken that would make it so that illegal immigrants don't need a fair trial or hearing? Please tell me.
What do you mean? Wait, sorry.
Don't ask me what I mean. Like, that's exactly what I mean.
Can you repeat the question? I didn't understand it.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
The way that you would defeat my point is if the definition has some option that makes it so that they can be relocated out of the country via something that isn't a trial or a hearing.
Yep.
You're saying that's a government action.
A fair government action, yeah.
Government actions usually refer to arrests.
Sure.
And other things of due process before trials and hearings.
Like a deportation?
Not government options. No, before trials and hearings. Government actions are specific. What government action is taken that circumvents trials and hearings?
It doesn't have to circumvent trials and hearings. I don't understand that. I don't understand.
It does for your point.
Why?
Because you're saying that you can just look at someone and go, you don't have any papers, go away.
Well, obviously that's not what I'm saying. It has to be recorded. It has to be there has to be paperwork. There has to be filing. I think there even has to be reasonable suspicion on the part of the cop or the ICE agent to pull over the person and investigate. But if your investigation leads to and
where is that evidence?
A deportation is like an arrest. You just put them back in the country that they came from. Instead of putting them in jail.
You have to go over the evidence in a court.
Why? Who said that? It doesn't say that in the definition you just read.
That's how it happens.
Okay, I know that's how it happens in Magical Infamous
going
Land,
over
but
the
it doesn't say
Well,
that
Magical
in.
Infamous Land, you don't just get picked up by the cops and they get you to they bring you to jail. And
Not
they're
when
just
you're an
like, "Okay,
American
it's time to go."
citizen. Not when you're an American citizen. But where are they going to put you if
Because
you don't? If you're
the
not supposed to
Fourth
be here?
Amendment- The Fourth Amendment doesn't just apply to citizens.
No, I know. But where are they supposed to put you if you're not supposed to be here?
A jail until you get to the court to defend yourself.
So
as protected
we're
under
expected
the
to
Fourth
give
Amendment.
like what kind of trial is that? Like what kind of court? See, the reason I'm asking this is not
Those
to be
trials
petty and
would be
annoying.
quick,
It's because you
problem is
don't
that-
know what you're talking about, and you're just asserting how our legal system and our deportation system works.
Whoa. Okay,
hold on.
well, hold on, because I'm
Yeah.
assuming things apparently. Tell me
Yeah.
how the
Yeah.
deportation of an illegal immigrant goes with due process. Please give me the play-by-play.
I don't know I don't know the play-by-play, but you're the one.
You don't know,
Hey,
but
hey.
I'm being dishonest.
Yes, because I didn't say I know, and you did.
Okay, well then you don't know that I'm wrong.
No, I don't. Well, it just sounds very wrong. So I have
Sounds very
the
wrong.
evidence.
My assumption is that these are quick hearings that could be done in mass order and could be done not that.
Correct.
And
My
my
problem is that did the
Yeah.
A
government
fair
schedule-
trial or hearing.
the premise of this argument was whether or not the Trump administration is doing such a thing well. Me and Infamous saying they're not because they didn't prepare.
Oh,
for as
okay,
much
okay,
as
good. Okay,
they-
that's good. Thank you for focusing
know?
that. So, what is the evidence that they're not doing it well? That's a great focusing point because you're right, and you haven't presented me any evidence that they're not doing what you're supposed to do. So present that, and we can talk about that. Everything else has been just, oh, this is how I think the immigration system works, and then and to be fair, I do the same thing.
It's how it is.
No, it is how you think, Infamous. You have no idea, do you? Have you studied this? Are you
It's
an
how I think
immigration
and how
lawyer?
it is.
What
So
is
the
it?
point that I would say is that
It's like
if
your
they were doing it
imagination
well, they
Reddit
would have
land.
had courts
But
set
you
up
it's
with-
imagination Reddit land. You're saying that my position makes no sense, and yet you're just being like, oh, they can just deport them.
Yeah,
Very
that's
simple. Very simple.
obvious.
Like,
That is simple and obvious. So I don't know what
the
you're.
point being
It's
that
not
they
simple
can't,
and obvious.
what
They get
could
due
have done-
process. They're allowed to be brought before a court of their peers to present evidence and get a defendant, or to be a defendant
chances
against the
are-
government. That's what
chances
they're
are-
allowed.
Reese, so chances are for
According
this
to
whole
you.
hearing, you wouldn't even need a court of your peers.
According to the Fourth Amendment, brother.
It would be it could be a very quick legal procession that could have been arranged beforehand. That should have been arranged by the Trump
Right,
administration.
and so
The problem is
how
the
did
courts are going against them? You know, the idea that they had a thorough plan for how this was going to go it doesn't seem like a reasonable thing to say.
seems reasonable to me? They
They're just
locked
going
down the
to Home
border within a
Depot's
month.
rest-
Yeah, but that is the plan. Like that makes sense to do. You know what I mean? Like if that's the plan, then it's working. Do you see what I mean? That's my argument.
Here we
No,
go.
because Home Depot to gather up day laborers is not a good way to get jobs to workers in America. To gather up illegals that are
Who said
working.
anything about getting jobs to Americans?
That's the premise of why you
That's the
No, it's
premise of
not.
why he's doing it. What do you
No,
mean?
it's not. Literally,
why
no,
you
it's
do
That
not.
is, it goes hand in hand with the
people,
deportation of
then
illegal
get
immigrants who are taking jobs. That's
That-
the whole
that
thing
might-
Trump fucking profaned on. What are you talking about?
That's
The
not
premise is
true.
to value American workers more.
No, false. That might be a beneficial
Look at
outcome of
Russia.
this. That might be a beneficial outcome of this. The point of it is to secure our border, which is basically his only job.
Why do you secure the border? Why do you secure the border? Because because illegal immigrants commit far less crimes percentage-wise than citizens.
So
You secure the border and you care about this because you want to care about the American worker and you want people in America to not 60% or whatever it was that Bernie Sanders said on Joe Rogan yesterday are living paycheck to paycheck, okay? That's what should be cared about rather than the tiny percentage of
We do care
crimes
about that.
illegal,
we do
immigrants
care
are
about that.
carrying out.
But no, we
That's
do
not
care
what
about that.
you said. No, you said.
You guys really need to
When I
follow my
said that, the
arguments a
reason
little bit
that you
better.
deport people is so that American work and American jobs, people that are American can get those jobs.
Okay, stop.
And then I said that
Disagree.
going to Home Depot to get day laborers is not the right
Yeah.
way to do
Okay,
that.
okay. Stop. There's a
Yes,
lot
it
there.
is.
Wait, I need to address that because you guys throw in like 3 arguments and then I can only address one at a time. And it's like, well, you didn't talk about this part. So let me just address what you said.
I gave you the evidence.
You said the reason to deport people is because to care about the American worker, right?
That's a good reason to, I would say.
False. Okay? The reason to deport people is because they have committed a crime, and it's to uphold the law. That's the reason to deport people. Is it a possible necessary, like a beneficial downstream effect that maybe it'll hurt the American worker? If that's your argument, I'd have to think about that, and we could talk about it. I'm saying uphold the law.
How much do you think illegal immigrants pay in taxes?
Oh yes, I was gonna get to this. I love you, Henry.
What? Probably
But
a lot.
anyway,
But
anyway,
that's irrelevant to upholding the law.
But anyway, look in the chat. Look in the chat.
So some other argument. So I say an argument that is just some other thing.
No,
yeah,
I'm getting back to it. I'm getting back to the original argument. The things you
okay.
asked me for evidence of. Don't pretend like you're moving.
NPR is his source. Judge contends, Henry, listen to this. Nazis got more due process than Trump deportees did. Great. The people say time.com.
For a long time.
The people judge it. Yeah, exactly. That's why the fucking analogy is retarded. They're Nazi war criminals. We're talking about your everyday immigrant. We're not talking about Nazi war criminals. Of course they did.
Well, I guess, it's a bad argument.
Okay, and then he sent me a Wikipedia article that describes the Tren de Aragua gang. These are your sources, Infamous? This is horrendous. Time.
I'm not just taking from one source. I'm not just taking from one source that you think might be biased. I'm giving you 4 different sources.
No, you are taking from one source. They're all run by the same media conglomerates. You give me the Washington Post, NPR, Time. You can laugh, dude, but you're the one acting retarded.
Wikipedia is run by NPR, brother.
Dude.
Washington Post is Rupert Murdoch. What are you talking about?
No, as if Rupert Murdoch doesn't have the same exact interests as NPR.
What are you? Okay, that's a ridiculous argument.
Okay.
Anyone against what he's saying,
libtards.
Anyone against what he's saying is owned by the libtard media, dude.
You guys are.
We say will not convince him.
Yeah.
Reese, that is so not fair to say.
So what is your argument? So your appeal is to what? The news? Is that your argument?
As most people, correct.
Oh, most people make arguments that appeal to the news.
Do you want me to show you an illegal immigrant? Like, I pull him up in front of me out of my.
No, I want you to make a philosophical. I want you to make any sort of actually.
Argument. How do I make a
well, no, not philosophical. Hey, can you relax for 1 second, man? I'm trying to finish a sentence. I say one word and sounds like, how the fuck do I? You're like manifesting, bro. I can't figure it out. Okay, so I say one word in the middle of a sentence and suddenly it's like this fucking explosion of energy. So it's great, man. I'm glad you're energetic, but let's calm down a little bit and just let me get my point out. Again, remembering that it's 2v1. Okay, so let's go through each of these arguments or each of these articles. Okay, what's the argument given by the article? Yeah. So the people judges say Trump has wrongly deported so far. Cool.
Sure. The argument for all 4 sources is that there's a general behavior of not caring about the due process of illegal immigrants that are being deported. It's not necessarily in individual sense. It's a trend.
And remember, we're talking about an argument right now. So if I were able, which I obviously could, but if I were able to present you a news article that said they were doing everything fair, that would be a good argument.
No.
Okay, so the news article thing is nothing.
Take the argument, yes.
And if you can provide me a scholarly article or any sort of data, that's fine. But where's the data in this? These are all.
Do you expect?
Any scholar that talks about deportation, there's obviously thousands.
I'm talking about the type of scholar.
Anything that is evidence. This is not evidence. This is anecdotal.
Brother, you're not realizing not realizing what the implications of my question is. Like what do you mean by scholar? Do you mean a doctor? Do you mean a fucking what do you mean? Scholar is a philosophical thing. What do you mean by scholar? You mean authority?
No. I don't care about the authority. I actually don't care about the scholar himself. It could be a fucking monkey. If the monkey made the research article, then that's fine.
Let's not ask a scholar.
Yeah.
Hold on. Asking what a scholar
it is about the
is
information.
wholly unhelpful. What sort of an article would convince you? That's a helpful question.
What kind of article?
What
an article that an article. An article that presented evidence that there was a systemic problem of lack of due process or unfair treatment towards the immigrants that are rightfully being deported. I would accept that kind of article, and we can read these and see if that exists in these. I'd be surprised, but I'm down to read. Or if you want to read through them yourself while I'm doing this and find a point where they actually do that. But if it's one guy got deported unfairly, I'm sorry for that guy.
With how he's doing it.
you know.
What? Okay, so I'll just ask you that. What do you think is inconsistent about his plan, or what do you think has not worked so far?
Okay, I'll wait, hold on. So I'm gonna ask. Do you think that Trump used the Alien Immigrations Act in 2025?
I have no idea what that even is.
The Alien Enemies Act. It's the one that was made it so that
This
he could
sure look
deport
okay, guys.
200 Venezuelans. Oh, you gotta go.
No, I'm just wondering though. I do have to go. It's like soon.
So it was in March 2025.
Okay.
His administrator deported over 200 Venezuelans using the Alien Enemies Act, alleging ties to the Trende
Aragua gang. Right.
Yeah. Without proving the gang membership or providing a hearing. That is without due process. He didn't prove anything before he did the action.
Were they here illegally though, or were they legal? Like, what was the and I'm not being like
So
combative. I'm
no,
just
they were
curious.
illegal.
But what is the
I'm gonna answer your
context of
question.
this? What is the context of this?
No,
Yeah.
I'll tell you, they were illegal. 100%. I will agree
Okay.
with you. They were illegal.
Okay.
Right? However,
So you agree
in the
they
Fourth
should be
Amendment,
deported?
you're guaranteed- Yeah. If they're found out lawfully, yeah, they should. Be
Yeah,
deported.
yeah.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Okay,
Yeah. If
cool.
they're found out lawfully, whatever.
Okay. Cool.
However, in order to get past the due process, he instantiated the Alien Enemies Act, which essentially makes it so that you can deport these people if you prove that they are gang members.
Mm-hmm.
But he did that without providing a hearing or proving.
Oh, okay. Well, that's wrong.
Okay, that's fine. If we can agree to that, that's fine.
That's wrong.
That's the
You,
end.
you should
That's
have
the
due
end.
process. I agree. You should have due process. All people.
That's fine.
Okay. Completely agree. My
Anyway,
claim
we
was
got
not
to it.
that
You can
people.
go.
Yeah, my claim was never that people shouldn't have due process. That was never my claim. My claim was that for the most part, they do. In this case, if they didn't, that's horrible.
Oh, I
They should
didn't
have
say
had it.
majority didn't. I just said a lot of them don't.
I don't even think a lot.
Like, it's a lot of people. I didn't say it's a lot of the people who get it.
But are we talking
it's
like
not
1,000? Are we talking about like 1,000 people? Are we talking
Well,
about
here it
like
was
10,000
2,000.
people? 2,000 Venezuelans were deported under this Tren de Agua?
Yeah,
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
that's a lot of people.
I'm trying to find. I mean, if that's true, I have to find if that's true, but I'll take your word for it for now. But yeah, that's a lot. Still, 2,000 out of how many? 8 million, I think, came over the last 8 years. So percentage-wise, that would be point.
But it's also like a trend that shows me that like he doesn't give a fuck about due process. If he can get them out and he can prove that they're illegal after the fact, he doesn't care.
Yeah. Well, I will never, ever condone a president subverting or controverting the Constitution. So,
I will never ever.
to whatever extent that is, yeah, and probably I'll
I
never.
want Matt Pat to be president, brother.
Matt Pat. Oh my god.
Bro, did you see that shit? Did you see him at, like in front of Washington D.C. looking like the president of the United States? I was like, brother, and someone made him a slogan and everything, "Make America Think Again." I was like, yes.
Retarded. Oh
No,
my
but hold
god.
on. I saw him dressed up nice. What was he doing it for?
It was a Content Creators Act that he's signing into law.
Oh, that's fun.
Shit. Okay, wait. We got some comments that I totally missed. I hope these people are somewhat still here. Some of them, but we got bots in the Vrindavan. Yeah, you're here, man. You're welcome to pipe up and chat if you'd like. Jackson says, "Hey, what's going on?" Hey, what's up, Jackson? And then my buddy Rob Woods said, "Who's pro-Iran?" Question mark. Question mark. Question mark.
I mean, no one is pro-Iran as a whole.
Yeah.
Do I think they have a right to defend themselves? Yes, I do.
The
Yeah,
Islamic
sure.
Revolution was horrible for those countries, and if those women could wear bikinis, they'd be much happier.
I agree. And if you see the pictures from like the 70s, it actually looked so nice and like peaceful and fun.
Before 9/11.
That would have been fun.
At least people could like, at least if they were smiling, you could see it.
It's crazy to look at like old pictures and be like, everyone in that picture is dead.
Dude, I think
yeah.
about that all the time.
Yeah,
There's
right?
so much about it.
Yeah.
Like whenever I'm watching an old movie, or even like a recent movie, like a decade-old
Hello.
movie, and you see an old-ass person, you're like, yeah, they're gone.
He's dead, yeah.
They're gone.
Dude, like I was watching Rocky 2 the other day. I was like, Mickey's dead.
Dude, like that's the thing. Yeah, like those type of movies.
But like I saw a picture. It was like the first ever picture taken in like a from like a photograph, and I'm like, damn, everyone in this picture is fucking gone.
Yeah, the dogs too.
The dogs too. Yeah, that's what I saw second. Yeah.
Who's the person that's in here? That's lo.
I don't know. He's deaf. But that's what Reese gets for sicking some cunt on me last time.
Oh yeah. Well, I kind of sicked him on you, to be fair. To be honest.
No, I was up for it. I was joking.
Yeah.
Dude,
Was...
I'm gonna be so facetious right now. I pulled a win out of my ass that time.
I don't even know who won there. That was a weird day.
Nah, cause like at the end, bro, it was just Reese and me. Like he just stopped talking. It was the one with the fucking, what is it, the angel of the Lord. And it was like, oh, he has his name in him, and I was like, oh well, so does this fucking random place. Is the place also the Lord? Like,
Oh, damn.
All
right.
I'm sorry for that, brother, but
Sorry for what?
I like, oh no, just how I act. But like, I mean, it's really weird. It's really weird to talk to people who aren't like Irish in like, that way.
Yeah.
It's not anger. Like, I don't know. Like, the people are just like, you're so angry, brother.
No, being from New York, I
It's
get
not
that it's not
angry.
anger, but at the same time,
it's the same.
Production comes when you your voice.
It's not
the same
exactly
thing as
anger,
a,
but it's like it's high energy.
passion.
It's
Yeah.
energy which is unmatched to the conversation. Does that
I'm
make
so
sense?
excited about having the
No, I get it, man. I get it. It's fun.
Here, Reese, I'm interviewing for a job today. Ask me a question.
Why do you think that you would be a good bartender?
Do you think that Israel deserves the right to
Yeah.
I think that if I were at the bar, I would serve a lot of arak because if any Israel people came in, they would enjoy it.
Oh, okay. Well, at this bar, we're sort of pro-Palestine. So, what's your response to that?
I love Palestine.
Oh, okay, good. You're hired.
I'm a pro in Palestine.
How much do you love Palestine?
You are hired, bro.
I love Palestine so much that I would give.
I'd marry it.
Would you kill this Jew in our closet?
Yeah, we've got. Yeah, well, we keep one chained up in the basement.
Don't worry, he deserves to be here. He said he believed in sin.
Yeah. We gave him due process. Don't worry.
We gave him due process.
Bro, I loved when I heard like Mr. Beast videos. Like he's like keeping the lights on for like 24 hours straight, which like we don't even do to criminals and like prisoners of war.
Oh, that's so true. Yeah, like when he locks people in a room. Hey, Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie. Hi, Charlie.
Oh,
the cat. Yeah, look at the cat. Yeah, that's a cat.
He's in air jail, brother.
He's in air jail.
Air jail, dude.
Can't move.
Look at him scratch his ass, but he put his hand behind his fucking neck, scratch his ass.
Air jail. Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna go to Costco after my interview.
That's a good call.
I also have to head anyway.
All right, peace, boys. Peace. Good shit.
All right, I'll talk to you in a bit today.
Yep. See you soon.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later.
You got to, man.
Later.
Peace, man. Oh, that was a lot. That was a lot to deal with. Fucking defend my country's immigration policies. You never want to be in that position, but you also don't want to be the pussy that's just like, yeah, you guys are right. Trump daddy bad. Orange man equals bad. Yeah, you're right. It sucks to live in America. It doesn't suck, dude. It's a fucking blessing. It's amazing. There's no better country on earth, especially Ireland. All right. Ooh.
What game is this?
It's called Slay the Spire. It's like a card like deck building game.
That looks pretty old.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's a roguelike. If you do you know that category? Ever heard that?
No, I've never heard about it.
It's cool. It's like basically the premise of a roguelite is that every run is completely different. So it's every element of it is like randomized, like what enemies I'm gonna face, what mini bosses, what cards I'm gonna get. These are relics that you can pick up, and then you try to beat like 3 different big bosses over the course of the thing. It's pretty fun. What'd you think about our little immigration debate there, Vrindavan?
Yeah, these things get heated really quickly. Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. You probably have zero opinion on it from India, right?
Yeah, we also have this sort of problem, right? Like
Mm.
it's more interested problem. Like people from other states, like poorer states, come to our state. Like I live in Maharashtra,
Mm.
which is like the richest state in the country.
Right.
So other people from poor states come here, and the guys living
Oh.
here don't like them.
Oh,
So,
interesting.
but it's so unlike USA where it's like people are coming from Mexico where it's illegal to come.
Yep.
Here, people can come from one state to going from one state to other state is completely illegal.
Right.
So, so the guys living in our state can't do things, but then again, because it's India, there are more problems. Like
Right.
things like language,
Yep.
like guys from the north part of the country can't speak Marathi, and
Mm.
people here don't want to speak Hindi. So when the
Uh.
migrants come, they sort
Yeah.
of take all the jobs. They
Mm.
bring their own culture,
Yep.
and as
Yep.
they come from, and they can't integrate with the culture that's here, so it again creates problems. Like
Yep. Definitely.
it's
That's interesting.
yeah, but as it's from interstate thing, it's not illegal. So people resort to
Yep.
hauling straight up. If people refuse to speak local language here, it ends up really violent.
Mm. Mm. So it's kind
There
of
have
like,
been like people have been
yeah. Go ahead.
people have been beat up here like for not speaking the local language, for not being able
Really.
to speak the local language.
Really.
Yeah. It's like
Wow.
seriously like people break up like the shop glasses they break up if the hoardings are not in the local language. Like it gets
Wow.
really heated.
That's crazy, man. And I'm not my only point with the Mexican illegal immigration here is the legality. I just think the rule of law should be upheld. But I mean, a lot of my friends are Mexican and are immigrants, and like, I have absolutely no ill will towards them or hatred in my heart for them. But it's just like, that's the reality of a
Yeah,
country. You have to,
and it will just overwhelm the welfare system there now. Like your country
Mhm.
has a good welfare system. So it will just
yeah.
overwhelm it.
Yeah. Well, the good welfare system is actually part of the problem, really, because that's the reason they're coming here is for the welfare a lot of times. But that's what ends up costing so much for the American taxpayer that was already here legally and through the right channels. So you end up paying for someone who didn't do it right when you did it right. It doesn't make sense.
The border part is just crazy to me. Like that there was no physical border before. Like in here in India, like
Hmm.
almost all the border is like barbed and shit. Like there are people starting 24/7 on the border. Like
Oh wow.
every border is covered. Like some part which is not covered, like near Bangladesh, like there is a problem for illegal immigration. Like
Mm.
it's just one small part, but that's also like everyone hates the immigrants here. Like there is
Right.
no sympathetic. Like people are sympathetic to us Mexicans there. That's not the case here. Like it's
They're
just
not
strange.
sympathetic at all. They just yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but probably
Yeah.
they because they are Muslims that way.
Right. Yeah, are
Yes.
the Muslims come from Bangladesh? Is that where they are?
Yeah.
Okay. Are there many Muslims in India or no?
It's like almost like I would say like 15 to 20%
Oh wow.
of the population.
It's kind of a lot.
I don't know the exact number, but I would guess it's like 15 to 25.
Yeah. Do you know many in your town that you live in or?
No, I don't know that many. Like maybe like one or two. Like they live in completely separate areas. Like it's not integrated at all.
Okay, got you.
It's like
Interesting.
straight up different localities and like there is no, you will never find their houses in similar places. Like mixed
Mm,
housing does not exist. Like they can't even get flats in the apartments if majority of them are Hindus.
really? Wow.
It's insane. Like every subcategory is like lives in a separate area. It's like
Hmm.
everything is divided based on
Yeah.
like no one if like when we had to buy this house like we had to pay like 50% above the market price to buy it, like because we are not from the category that the local area is from, so we had to buy it
Right.
above the market price,
Okay.
like
Okay.
50-60% above
Wow.
market price.
Wow. What is the marketplace like?
For what, like for real estate?
Um, well, yeah, I guess like is it hard to
Yeah,
buy a
it's
house in India or is it
yeah,
sort
real
of
estate is like land is really hot because all the black money ends up in land prices, right?
mm-hmm,
So like
mm-hmm.
it's sort of all the black money that all the government officials have ends up in land. So land is like ultra hot land and farmland and
Mm-hmm.
like residential land compared
Yep.
to like salaries and shit. It's like extremely hot
Right,
because
right.
everyone just buys land. There is no other investment. Like the house that we bought is up like 4 or 5 times up in like land
Mm-hmm.
prices and construction costs. Like it's basically like we have made like crazy money on the house
Mm, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow.
because there are that many safe assets. Like people don't buy stocks here. Like majority of people
Mm-hmm.
compared to America. Like you have like
Yep.
401ks and shit. It's not there at
Yep.
all.
Yep.
Everyone just buys farms and shit. Like and it's a great way to hide illegally obtained money. There's
Oh,
no
yeah,
other
yeah,
way.
yeah. Like money laundering.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do people make money illegally in India? Would it be like drugs or gangs or how do they?
No, it's more like they're just not paying taxes. Like if you have
Oh,
like
yep, yep,
if
yep.
you own like a wholesale shop, like you will sell like stuff for 1 million and just pay tax on like half the shit, and
Right.
rest of it
Okay.
you just keep it in cash.
Yep, yep, yep.
Rest of it you just keep it in cash
Yep.
and just buy land with it. And
Yep,
on
yep.
the land sale deed, you just you reduce on paper you don't keep the transaction that high amount and you just do the transaction in cash.
Oh, interesting.
And also
Interesting.
like bribes to like get permits and shit, like that's just
Mm-hmm.
common. Like I had to get a driving license. I
Yeah.
don't know how to drive a four-wheeler. I still get it. Like I just have to pay hundred
Oh,
bucks and get
really?
the license.
No way. You can
Yeah,
just pay for
like
it.
not even 100 bucks, like 50 bucks, not even 100 bucks, like 50 bucks, and I get the license. I don't even have to drive. I don't even have
That's
to drive. I can get a
funny.
four-wheeler, like
Wow.
50 bucks just, and half of it is for registration cost, and half of it goes to the guy who's like the officer in charge from like the DME in India. Like it's just crazy.
Wow. That is so wild. That is so
Like I
wild,
can,
man.
I'm going to get like in 15 days. I'm going to get a four-wheeler license. I don't know how to drive.
That's nuts, man. So you can just do that for pretty much anything. Uh,
Like if you have the right connections, like basically that's
gotcha.
you can get anywhere. Like if you want to get into any college, you can get in. You can go to like any
Right.
college you want to get it.
Right.
Like you can get away with a lot of stuff if you have the right connection. Like
That's
it's
fascinating.
crazy. Like
That's fascinating stuff, man. Well, unfortunately, I gotta get going. So it was a really fun stream. I
yeah,
hope you
thanks.
enjoyed, even though it wasn't super relevant to you probably, but somewhat similar to the stuff going on in India.
Yeah,
Uh,
thanks.
but of course, man, it was fun. So hopefully see you next time, and appreciate you guys. Thank you.